Okay, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the sixth episode of the Glow Business Breakthrough Masterclass webinar series, Small Biz Edition. I'm your host, Carla Barreto, and it is so great to be back as always to have this wonderful session with all of you. Kamusta naman tayong lahat? Can we share a wave in the comments? Send me an emoji, send me a hello. Let us know that you are tuned in and that you are here with us in this moment. We are so glad to see some new names in the mix, as well as some returning ones. So if this is not your first time watching the Breakthrough series, welcome back. If it is your first time, welcome. Game na game tayo to learn today, I'm sure. And we're gonna get to that shortly. But first, mag-recap muna tayo ng mga previous episodes natin, okay? So, in our first episode, we learned from our speakers kung paano nga ba nakakatulong ang AI. I know medyo scary, 'di ba, pag AI yung involved sa business. Pero we got to learn that you can use AI in making intelligent business decisions. In the second episode, our speakers shared with us on how to take this AI and use it to get to know your customers by using a better and tailored customer service. Sa third episode naman, natutunan natin na kahit small business ka pa lang, pwedeng-pwede na magkaroon ng HR department. And it is very doable with the help of HR automation. Sa fourth episode naman, shinare ng mga speakers natin everything about exportation, e-commerce, and going global, getting out into the world even as a small business. Yes, it is possible. And in our previous episode, the fifth episode, our speakers shared kung paano nga ba i-register ang inyong small business. How are we going to manage those legalities of every day at paano maging isang legit na business? Very, very important. And we learned so much these last few episodes. And for today, our last episode, we're going to get to know more about making content for your business, plus the strategy that comes with it. Also, very, very important. You know, we know naman talaga, hindi talaga madali gumawa ng content and to stay visible online, right? Marami tayong competition and the digital world is changing every day. Yung trending ngayon, baka by tomorrow, wala na yan. Di ba? Late ka na sa trend. It happens and it can be overwhelming sometimes, or, you know, you might think to yourself, entrepreneur ko, hindi naman ako content creator. And that's okay. Because, you know, in this digital age, there is a tendency na kahit na entrepreneur ka and yun yung focus mo, you are forced to become a content creator sometimes in order to reach your business. And that is why we are going to dig deep on that today. Because our topic of the day is content is king, but strategy is queen. Maximizing impact using data analytics for content and digital marketing success. O diba, may experts tayo today who are going to be telling us all about making content that works and has a strategy. Kaya stay tuned dahil ang goal natin today ay mapalakas ang online presence ng small business nyo and to make the most of all of the digital tools for content and marketing. So, as we begin, we invite you to listen, take notes. Ito, very important, ask questions. All of your questions are so welcome. And please, don't be shy to do so. And please imagine how these insights can fit into your own business story. At syempre naman, just like last time and just like all of our episodes here, meron pa rin tayong raffle draw at the end of the program. So, sino kaya mga lucky winners natin for the last time of this run? Sabay-sabay natin alamin yan mamaya. So, stay with us until the very end. We're so excited to learn with you all today, and we truly hope that you'll walk away with practical ideas that you can try right away. Very important always, right? Para tuloy-tuloy na ang inyong breakthrough. Now, here to officially open today's session, we'll hear from a leader who has been with us since day one. Patuloy niyang tinutulungan ang mga MSMEs na mag-transform, mag-adapt, at mag-level up sa digital world. As a business leader, alam niya ang hirap of staying visible and relatable online, kaya she is here to share a few inspiring words for all of us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with us the Vice President and Head of Globe Business, Ms. Katie Dizon.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the sixth and final episode of the Breakthrough Masterclass webinar series, Small Biz Edition. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat, lalo na sa mga nag-tune in since episode 1. You've been with us since August on this journey of learning and discovery. From episode 1 hanggang ngayon, we've explored some of the most important areas for small business growth. Together, natutunan natin paano makatulong ang AI and data to help you make intelligent business decisions, how personalization drives stronger customer loyalty, how HR automation empowers teams, and how access to markets is key for survival and growth. Sa episode 5, pinag-usapan naman natin ang legitimacy ng inyong negosyo at kung paano napadali ng mga digital tools ang pagpaparehistro and naging less intimidating ang pag-asikaso ng taxes. And now, here we are, episode 6, the finale of this masterclass series. Today, we're diving into a challenge that small businesses face, digital marketing. Aminin natin, marami sa atin, ang unang instinct is to just boost a post, hoping it will magically reach the right people. Pero the truth is, digital marketing isn't just about posting or boosting. It's about creating meaningful content, backed by the right strategy, so you can attract, engage, and build a community of loyal customers. That's why our topic today is Content is King, but Strategy is Queen. Maximizing impact using data analytics for content and digital marketing success. Pag-uusapin natin today kung paano ninyo magagamit ang mga AI-powered content tools para mas mapadali at mas mapaganda ang inyong content. Paano i-maximize ang features ng social media platforms na ginagamit ninyo. At kung paano gumawa ng data-driven strategies that go beyond visibility and will help you genuinely connect with your audience and build loyalty for your business. Exciting ang learning session natin today dahil we've invited seasoned experts in digital marketing and content creation. People who have walked the talk and who will share practical tips and proven strategies na pwede ninyong i-apply agad sa inyong sariling negosyo. Expect fresh insights, relatable examples, and actionable advice that can help turn your digital presence into real business growth. And since this is our last episode together, today's topic also feels like the perfect way to close the series. Kasi kung iisipin natin, lahat ng pinag-uusapan natin from episode 1 up to now, AI, personalization, HR automation, market access, and legitimacy, all come together here. At the end of the day, what connects everything is how you tell your story. Reach the right people and build lasting relationships with your customers. As we close this series, we encourage you to reflect sa naging journey ninyo kasama namin dito sa Breakthrough Masterclass Small Biz Edition. Think of the small steps you've already taken and the bigger steps you're now ready to try. Sa muli, maraming salamat for joining us since day 1. And now, let's make this last session count. Welcome to episode 6 of your Breakthrough.
As I said, absolutely right. We're going to make it count this session, everyone. And we are so excited to get right into it. And really, it's been such a wonderful series so far. As she said, we have learned so much. And she's right. How we tell our story is going to make everything connect. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. But for now, let's keep things going. Now, I know all of us some of us are here for the first time maybe, and maybe we don't know where to start. We're not so sure. Saan nga ba sa digital journey ang aking business? Gaano ba ka ready maging online? And that is a very valid concern. Alam naman natin ngayon how important it is to adapt to the digital world. Lalo na sa mga small business, mahirap talaga makapag-keep up sa competition. Ang tanong, gaano nga ba tayo kahanda to go digital? That is always the question being asked. Here's a quick reference in terms of how many people are really wondering or thinking or prioritizing that across the Asia-Pacific region. 79% of business leaders are prioritizing digitalization. They recognize the direct impact on revenue and growth. In Southeast Asia, 81% of organizations cite the use of digital technologies as a top strategic priority. And despite saying this, despite saying, oh, we need it, we have to prioritize it, here is a very shocking number, I would say. Despite all of that, over 90% of businesses continue to face challenges in unlocking the full value of digital transformation. Why does that happen? Well, this is often due to fragmented adoption, maybe a lack of clear direction, and difficulty in scaling up their initiatives. And this is where Digitest comes in. Now, we're going to be showing a QR code on the screen right about now. It's important that you scan that. And side note, this is also going to qualify you for the raffle in case medyo competitive ang feeling na gusto niyo mag-raffle. So please do scan this QR code and take the test. Why is this so important? Well, maybe we don't know yet how ready your business is for digital transformation. Digitest is developed by Globe Business, and it is a digital maturity assessment tool designed to help organizations clearly understand their current digital capabilities and readiness. So, whether your company is just starting its digital journey or looking to scale up, Digitest provides the right insight, guidance, and confidence to take the next step. By the way, you can already start answering the test while I'm explaining this to you if you like, so that we make sure that you're all set before we begin the talks. Now, with that clarity, with knowing just how ready you are with what Digitest what result will be given to you, with that clarity is gonna come courage, and with courage comes transformation. That is the power of Digitest, helping Filipino businesses thrive today, tomorrow, and beyond. So, scan that QR code. We highly encourage it so you can discover your own digital readiness. Once you answer the Digitest, you will also, like I said, you'll be qualified for the raffle draw later in the program. Kaya, iscan nyo na ang QR code on the screen, answer the Digitest, at baka naman, isa ka sa mga maswerteng mananalo sa raffle mamaya. Good luck, everyone! Now, I want to see if we're all ready to start learning. Gusto na namin ma-feel ang excitement. Can you send me some hello emojis or some high five emojis? Let me know that your energy is up and that our focus is on and that we are ready to have an exciting session today. Let's see those emojis in the chat. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. So let's officially kick off your breakthrough with our first speaker. Our first speaker today is someone na talagang respected sa digital marketing space. Siya ang current president ng Digital Marketing Association of the Philippines at managing partner ng David and Goliath, an Anderson Consulting collaborating firm. Before this, ang dami niya ding experiences across different industries, including telco, pharma, media, and advertising. He even worked with Havas Media in Singapore and Madrid, so global talaga ang perspective niya. He has an MBA from IE Business School at ngayon he also teaches at the Asian Institute of Management, helping to shape the next generation of marketers and leaders. Let's give a warm virtual welcome to Mr. Miko David.
All right. Thank you so much, Carla, and thank you for the nice introduction, no? So sa lahat mga nanonood, hello po, and then marami po tayong mapag-aaralan today, no? Tungkol sa data and analytics. So let me present lang yung aking slides, no, to talk about ano ba tong mga Beyond Boost post, di ba? And how can we use simple data para manalo tayo sa digital marketing. Okay? So tulad na nabanggit ni Carla, no? So currently ako po yung presidente ng Digital Marketing Association of the Philippines. Meron din po tayong tinatawag na Ad Standards Council. Nagtuturo din po ako sa AIM. Tsaka currently managing partner po ako sa David and Goliath. So ano po yung aking mababalita ngayon po sa ating session, no? So siguro yung una kong mapapahiwatig, marami na rin akong ginagawang data analytics. So, matuturo po namin kung paano siya ginagawa, ano po yung mga kailangan nyo malaman, no? Para matututo natin paano siya ma-apply sa ating mga negosyo, no? But I think yung isa ring importante natin malaman is that sa DMAP or Digital Marketing Association of the Philippines, ang dami po naming eksperto at maraming insight po sa nagagawa. So lahat po nakita niyo mga picture na yan, no? Sa maliit na screenshot na yan. Lahat yan nangyari this year. As in, kada event, kada talk, ang dami po namin akong experts para mag-share po ng kanilang kaalaman tungkol sa digital marketing. So, syempre, yung ating talk ngayon, papag-usapan po natin ng parang how do we get there, no? So, syempre, as a business owner, meron po tayong mga gut feel na nararamdaman. So, how do we go from gut feel to being guided for growth? And in this example, gagamit po tayo ng maraming aspects of data and analytics. So, syempre, pag narinig natin yung salita na data and analytics, parang medyo intense naman yon. Hindi naman ako magaling sa math, no? Minsan, may magsasabi pa nga, Miko, hindi naman ako data scientist. Paano ko ba malalaman yung ganyang bagay? So, siguro gusto ko lang kayo lahat i-reassure, no, na sa mga pinakita kong mga graphs and charts and lahat ng mga analytics, ang simula po ng aking trabaho dati ay graphic designer po ako dati. So, ano yan? Pwede pala mangyari yun, no? So, meron po ako mga tips today na pwede niyo pong yung parang i-take into consideration para yung ginagawa ko po, magawa niyo rin po. At saka, ano na siya, meron siyang mga paraan ngayon dahil sa AI na napapadali po yung mga ganitong bagay, no? So, tandaan niyo lang po yan. We'll share with you yung mga paraan or yung mga mindset para lang ma-prepare kayo to go as far as you can, no? Ayun, sige, simulan po natin yung ating chismis. I call this yung aking chismis section. So, tatlo po yung papag-usapan natin today, no? Una, yung mga sources of data. Saan natin siya kukunin, paano natin siya ipaprocess. And then pangalawa, ano ba yung mga use cases natin? Paano natin siya ina-apply, no? Para matulungan po yung ating mga negosyo. And then of course, itong dinagdag ko lang tong item number 3, mga practical tips to get started. So kung magsisimula pa lang kayo or nagsimula na kayo ng konti, how do you go from beginner to intermediate or intermediate to advanced, no? So para lang matulungan po tayo dito. O sige, simulan po natin siya sa sources of data. So yung sa ating sources of data, tatlo po yung gusto kong sabihin sa inyo na sources, no? Yung una po ay internal data. So these are things na pagmamayari po ninyo, papaliwanag natin siya mamaya. The next thing naman is actually platforms and external tools. Ang ating susunod na speaker po, papag-usapan po siya, yung example na yan sa social media exactly, no? And then third naman, could be external data sources. So, paano na po natin ginagamit yung mga bagay na available outside, or kunyari, when I say outside, yung mga nasa comments, sa social media, nasa Google reviews, para ma-analyze po natin yung mga ganitong bagay, no? So we'll talk about these 3 things. So, yung unang part na gusto kong sabihin ay yung tungkol sa internal data. So, kung meron po tayong POS, inventory data, mga resibo, or even customer data po. Customer data could be like yung mga mobile number nila, email address, pangalan, address, no? Or raffle data. Raffle data, ano yan, mahilig po kami sa mga ganyang bagay kasi marami po tayong nakokolektang information. So pag meron tayong CRM na tinatawag or anything that we can collect, these are all good data sources. Ngayon, meron akong dinagdag dito na item na GCash transaction. So ikukwento ko lang po to, no? pag nakakatanggap po kayo ng bayad via GCash, di ba meron po tayong yung transaction history. So di ba ano yan, sa account po natin, nakikita na po natin yun, no? So, pwede mo kasing gawin yung sa internal data, gagamitin nyo siya with something like Gemini. So, kunyari, i-upload mo siya, and then sasabihin mo kay Gemini, okay, i-process nyo lahat ng mga transactions by time. Ilan ba siya? Or anong araw ang pinakamarami? Kasi ang ating GCash transaction history, meron po siyang timestamp, no? So, pwede mo siyang ma-analyze sa ganung bagay. Or kunyari, ano bang pinaka-okay na time slot, no? Kung lahat siya nangyayari, lahat ng transaction. So, imagine nyo, sa pamamagitan lang ng GCash transaction data nyo, nalalaman nyo mga ganitong klaseng insights, no? And that is using internal data. Of course, bukod sa internal data, meron din tayong mga data na nakuha sa mga platforms, no? So, ngayon, papag-usapan natin yung mga Meta, TikTok, Google, no? Mamaya ang ating susunod na speaker, papag-usapan din niya yung mga pwede mong lahat na gawin sa loob ng platform. Pero, practically, lahat ng mga platform na meron tayo sa social media, meron siyang kanya-kanyang analytics tsaka insights. So, si Google, pwede niya malaman kung gaano karami ang nagsa-search ng mga bagay-bagay, no? So, kunyari, ano bang demand ng naghahanap ng kape, or kunyari ano ba yung demand na naghahanap ng burgers, or kunyari ang business nyo po ay hindi retail, no? Kunyari po services po siya, cleaning services, pwede naman siyang services na kunyari IT, no? So how many po ang naghahanap? Ita-type nyo po yung keyword at bibigyan po kayo ng volume. Sa Meta naman, meron siyang paraan para malaman yung demand ng dami ng tao, no? So kunyari, ilan po ang interested sa damit, or kunyari sa cellphone, ilalagay niyo po yung interest parameter, bibilangin po niya kung ilan. Or kunyari, sa LinkedIn naman, meron po silang mga platform din na pag sinearch nyo, gaano karami ba ang nag-aral sa AIM, or ilan po ang tao na nagtatrabaho sa Globe, mabibilang po niya lahat yan. Alam mo yun? So, lahat po ng mga tools na ito, meron siya mga analytics tsaka insights. So, ang tanong dyan, saan? Di ba? So, papag-usapan natin siya mamaya. Ngayon, yung isa ko ring tip sa inyong lahat is that maraming tools. So, saksakan ng dami, no? So ibig sabihin po nito is that kung naghahanap po kayo ng tool para sa isang bagay, meron kayo mahanap. At hindi lahat yan mahal. In fact, may mga tool po tayo dito na very affordable, or for example, very easy to use, no, for MSMEs. In fact, si Globe has a lot of these different tools, no, that are also part of this ecosystem. So, tandaan nyo, sa bawat tool, may analytics po kayo makukuha. Siyempre, bukod sa internal data nyo, tsaka sa mga makukuha niya from social media platforms, meron tayong makukuha din from external sources, no? So, for example, pag third-party sources, pwede nyo po din siya sa Google Reviews, Facebook groups, comments sa social media, yung mga pages, influencers, Viber groups, no? Marami po yan. So, ang isang example ko dito is Google Reviews, no? So, ano bang example nito? So, pag pumunta kayo sa Google Maps, and then sinerch nyo po yung mga restaurant, no? Pwede nyo i-classify lahat ng mga bagay. So, kunyari, hanap ako tungkol sa food, or service, or experience, no? Makukuha nyo po lahat ng mga screenshot po na to, yung mga ganyang bagay na information. Ang ginagawa po namin sa opisina namin, kumukuha kami ng qualitative feedback. So, ibig sabihin po nun, lahat ng mga sinabing text na tungkol sa food, tungkol sa presyo, tungkol sa service, pinokolekta po namin yan. Tapos, ang ginagawa namin dito, pinapasok namin siya sa mga Gemini, yung mga ganong klaseng platform po. At yung nangyari po dito, pag ina-upload po namin lahat ng mga verbatim po na to, nakakapag-analyze po kami. So biglang, kunyari, in-upload ko yung nakuha ko, okay, aling brand dito ang minention na maraming beses? Ayan, product A, 19%, product B, 18%, no? Or minsan, yung category niya, ano bang hinahanap nila? Yung size ba, or durability, or presyo bang pinag-uusapan? So depende po, no? So pag marami kayong in-upload na data sa mga AI platforms so Gemini, marami kayong nalaman na insight. So pag ito pala yung pinag-uusapan ng mga tao, then gagawa tayo ng content na babagay po doon, no? So again, yun yung po yung examples na gumagamit tayo ng external sources. So kukuha tayo mula sa Google, kukuha tayo sa comments para ma-analyze po ano yung mga hinahanap po ng tao, no? Ngayon, syempre, pag nakakuha natin yung mga data sources, paano po natin siya ina-apply, no? So, meron tayong mga use cases. So, papaliwanag ko po tatlong bagay, no, na pwede niyong i-apply sa pagkuha po ng data. So, yung una po would be para improve po natin ang sales and marketing. Pangalawa would be to understand or parang malaman po tayo more about our customers. Or pangatlo, about data para sa inventory and operations, no? So, mamaya, malalaman po natin na sa digital marketing, bawat platform po, maraming analytics. So, pwede niyong malaman yung mga bagay na ito para ma-improve po yung mga operations nyo sa digital marketing. So, minsan, malalaman nyo anong oras ba talaga ang pinakapatok yung traction natin, no, sa online, or pwedeng anong oras within the day. So, pag makita niyo po yung chart na to, no, habang pupunta siya ng mga 8 o'clock hanggang 11 p.m., umaakyat po yung volume. And then bumababa na siya kapag malapit na siya sa midnight. Itong slot po na to sa ano, no, yung dip po na yan, yung mga 2 a.m. hanggang mga 6 a.m., konti lang po yung tao. So, dahil sa analytics, nalalaman po natin na, ay, mag-post na lang tayo ng ganitong oras, no? Or minsan, sa mga analytics tools, malalaman mo rin na, uy, mas effective ba ang mobile or desktop na format, parang ganyan. So, pag meron tayong mga tools na ganito, nakakapag-decide tayo na, uy, palitan natin to, i-check natin ano yung gumagana at hindi gumagana, no? Siyempre, sa mga gamit po ng analytics, we can also learn more things about yung customers natin, no? So, this example na to, galing po siya sa Google, no? Pwede nyo pong gamitin na ang Google Trends or Google Keyword Planner. Ang pwede nyo pong i-type kunyari, coffee shop, restaurants, ganyan, no? Parking. Yung nakita po natin dito, paakyat po lahat yung demand, no? So, imagine, pag ginawa nyo po to sa mga kanya-kanyang products, no? Or services na hinahandle po ng MSMEs. Yun, malalaman po natin to from digital marketing platforms, no? Totoo lang, itong data na to, or datos na to, pwede mo siyang kunin para sa city mismo. So, kunyari, ano ba pa yung nagkakaiba ng Quezon City sa Cebu City or sa Gensan kumpara sa CDO? So, malalaman po natin to down to that level of granularity, no? Pero bukod pa doon, may mga tools din sa analytics na malalaman nyo po tungkol sa mga customers, no? So, kunyari, ang customers po natin ay mga babae po na bumibili ng damit. So, may dalawa tayong pwedeng malaman. Ano bang pagkakaiba ng, kunyari, batang customer sa mas matandang customer? So, kunyari, ang customer po natin ay 18 to 24 years old, malalaman po natin dito na ang TikTok, 53% po ang kanyang penetration rate, no? Or yung gumagamit ng platform. Kapag ano siya, kapag mas bata. And by the way, ano to, interested sa damit. Ito yung data point po na to. And then susunod dito ay Facebook, and then susunod po dito ay Instagram. Pero kapag mas matanda po yung customers natin, kunyari 25 to 34, pansin niyo po na mas importante po ang Facebook. Si TikTok naman po, pangalawang priority. So, mapapaisip kayo tuloy na dahil sa datos, malalaman po natin na, uy, ano dapat yung content na unahin natin at ano pang platform ang gagamitin natin. So, nakatulong po yung mga ganitong mga bagay para makapag-decide po tayo. So, mamaya, papag-usapan po ng speaker natin para natin malalaman yung ganitong bagay, no? Siyempre, pwede rin siya ma-apply para sa mga bagay tulad ng mga operations, no? So, ano bang gumagalaw na produkto? So, ang example po nito is that lahat ng mga items 1 to 20, ito po lahat ng mga produkto na meron, no? Women's item, men's item, pero per location, malalaman mo kung anong mabenta. So, lahat po ng mga platform, meron po siyang mga analytics para makita mo kung anong bumibentang mga items, no? So, dahil dito, uy, dapat pala sa Bulacan, i-push ko pala tong ganitong klaseng products. Or kunyari, sa Cavite naman po, mas effective ang ganitong products. So, nag-a-adapt po tayo ng mga ating mga content or yung mga initiatives dahil sa anong sinasabi ng data para sa atin. Ngayon, para sa iba sa atin, kunyari meron tayong mga raw data. Yung ganyan, no? Mga raw data. Pwede niyo po ipasok to sa Gemini, no? Meron lang akong caveat dito, no? Anonymized raw data. Pag sinasabi ko pong anonymized, wag po tayo magpapasok ng mga customer information, no? Or mga sensitive information. Pero pag kunyari, nakaano siya, pinadala niyo po yung mga labels niya, pin-upload niyo po yung datos na yan. Pwede niyo pong i-prompt si Gemini na, oh, i-organize nyo nga ng line graph lahat ng mga clicks or i-organize nyo sa line graph ang lahat ng mga add to cart para yung raw data niyo po, no, na niyo po, ma-visualize po ng ganyan. So pag mas visual po ang mga ginagawa po nating mga bagay, mas klaro po ang kailangan gawin. Actually, yung nalaman po namin dito, habang papalapit po ang 4-4, no, umakyat po ang add to cart. Doon po yung natutunan namin. So, hindi po natin nagiging obvious yung mga ganyang bagay pag ito lang yung nakikita natin. Kailangan po, gumagamit tayo ng mga tools, no, para ma-visualize po yung data natin. Ngayon, dahil klaro po sa atin na yung mga sources ng data or paano na siya ginagamit, no, meron po ako mga tips po sa inyo, sa ating lahat, no, para masimulan po yung ganitong bagay. Kasi syempre, parang ang daming tools. Saan ako magsisimula, di ba? So, para sa mga nagsisimula pa lang or those who are just starting out, meron akong 3 tips na i-recommend po sa inyong lahat. Yung una po ay tandaan niyo po lagi na yung data, tinatanggal po niya yung mga emotional decision making. Meaning, yung haka-haka or parang feeling mo lang or parang gut feel, sinasabi natin. Dahil meron tayong black and white na parang information na nag-decide para sa atin, no? Pangalawa, magsisimula muna ako to say na mag-start muna tayo sa anong meron tayo. Huwag muna tayong bibili ng mahal na tool, no? Mag-pilot muna tayo. Try with the inexpensive tools or try to do a pilot muna. Kasi pag nakita nyo yung effect po nito, nakikita nyo, uy, sige, analyze pa tayo lalo, di ba? So, yun yung very, very important. And then yung pangatlo, tip ko lang is to prioritize, no? Or measure 3 bagay muna. Sales patterns, alamin po natin ito sa customer natin, or kung effective ba ang isang bagay o hindi. So, pag nagsisimula po lang tayo, mabuti po na huwag natin subukan gawin lahat. Mag-focus muna tayo sa mga simpleng bagay. Oh, kailan ba nangyari yan? Or ano ba ang customer ko? Or effective ba ito o hindi? Yun po yung pwedeng gawin pag nagsisimula po tayo. Pero, sabihin natin na nakapagsimula na kayo, di ba? May na kayong head start. How do you go from intermediate to advanced, no? So ito po yung aking 3 tip. So yung una ay mag-explore yung mga platforms natin for additional insights and analytics. So mamaya, 'di ba, papag-usapan na saan natin kukunin 'yon. Magbuting-ting po tayo ng mga button doon sa mga platform para maintindihan natin ano meron po, no? Pangalawa, explore yung iba pang tool na sa labas, no? So mag-try po tayo, mag-test po tayo ng mga tool. Uy, kaya ba nito gawin ito? Or ano pang tool ang pwedeng magbigay ng insight tungkol sa mga customers ko gamit ang mobile number nila, no? So may mga tool po sa labas, mag-explore po tayo. Then pangatlo, ang tip ko po ay maging comfortable po tayo na makakita ng complex na data. Kasi habang tumatagal po tayo na nakakita ng um, mga report na very complex, yung masanay po tayo, hindi po tayo matatakot. So dapat pakita mo siya 100 times, no? Kada linggo, itry po natin na gumawa ng report, tumingin ng report, di ba? And then hanggang comfortable na tayo makita ng bagong items, no? So maikli lang po ang aking segment para lang pag-usapan ng data and analytics. Pero these are things na ginagawa talaga namin sa opisina. Talagang kumukuha kami ng mga iba't ibang data sources, gumagamit kami ng mga tools, and then ina-apply po namin na mag-test po at nag-explore, no? So yun lang po ang aking chismis segment. Ito po si Miko David na naglilingkod. Pero if you want to reach out, please connect po sa LinkedIn or mag-join po kayo sa Digital Marketing Association of the Philippines. So with that, yun po ang aking balita and look forward to your questions mamaya po. Maraming salamat.
Thank you so much, Sir Miko, for that very insightful, short and sweet, and so full of info. I think there's a lot we can take from that, especially the fact that we don't have to be so afraid or intimidated, that you don't have to be a mathematician or a data scientist to make the most of your data. And sabi nga niya that, you can find out what works, what doesn't work. And the good news, like he said, is that whatever is the size of your business, meron pa ring tools na available sa'yo na pwedeng maybe free or cheap, and you don't have to be so overwhelmed with these, getting everything all at once. Kasi you can start small, you can start simple, and you can make the most of your data for your business. Sabi nga ni Sir, you don't have to do emotional decision-making anymore. because data will make sure that you are on the right track. Now, kung may questions pa kayo for Sir Miko, please, we always say it here on Breakthrough, bawal ang shy type. This is your chance to ask the experts. So, please send in your questions anytime through the Zoom Q&A button. We'll give you a moment down below to click that. If you have a question, we're gonna try and bring it up, as many of them as possible, during our Q&A session. So, wag na kayong mahiya, guys. This is your chance to ask the experts about how you can apply some of the lessons we're learning here today. Okay? Now, our next speaker is someone na matagal na talaga rin sa creative and marketing world. More than 21 years to be exact. 21 years of experience in content production and comms strategy. She is the founder and chief creative officer of VitalStrats Creative Solutions and co-founder din siya ng Introspec Management Consultancy, where she helps organizations level up through digitalization and efficient marketing. She graduated with a fine arts degree from UP Diliman and earned her master's in entrepreneurship from Ateneo, and is one of the founding Exicom members of the Philippine AI Business Association. Certified professional marketer pa, kaya legit talaga ang expertise niya. Here to talk about finding gold in your social media data, let's all give a digital welcome to Miss Amrei Dizon.
Good afternoon. Maraming salamat, Carla. Thank you so much, Globe Business. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amrei Dizon, and for the next 20 minutes, pag-uusapan po natin yung something na most businesses are sitting on but not using. So ito po yung inyong social media data. And yes, I said gold. Gold po ito kasi it's literally what it is. Mayaman na po tayo. Mayaman na po kayo. At kailangan lang po nating hukayin. Yan. Pero ano po ba ang ating, ano po ba ang problema ng mga SMEs, ng mga entrepreneurs po natin? Ito po yung katotohanan based sa mga studies. 70% of businesses post content, but just hope. Hope it works. Sana may makakita. Sana mag-convert. Yan. So, 70% of marketers say they cannot confidently measure social media ROI. Yan. So, ang result, merong random posting, and then merong, syempre, wasted budget. Syempre tayo, mga small businesses, importante sa atin. Yan, bawat ginagastos natin, kailangan meron tayong return. Yan. So, yung problema kasi, most of us don't know where to look or what it means. Ano ba ibig sabihin nung data sa inyong social media platforms na meron na kayo? Yan. Nandito yan sa Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Tinatrack nila everything already. Bawat like, bawat share. Every time someone saves your post, natatrack yan ng mga platforms. Pero saan ba ito nahahanap? Yan. So, bago ko i-reveal po yun, mag-share lang po ako ng isang real truth. Kasi maraming mga marketers, mga business owners, gusto nila na magkaroon ng post na sana mag-viral to. Kasi pag nag-viral to, yun na yung start ng aming discoverability. Yun na yung start, baka mag-grow na yung aming negosyo. May isa lang post sana na mag-viral. Pero may study po na ginawa sa over 600,000 posts. And alam nyo ba kung ano yung natuklasan nila? Most viral posts do not necessarily lead to growth. In fact, yung engagement po can drop by 18% after going viral. So, yung going viral po, para po yung it's like winning the lottery. Exciting siya, pero hindi siya sustainable. Pero alam niyo po ba kung ano yung sustainable? Ang sustainable po ay data-driven strategy. Yan. So, ano po ba yung psychology behind it? Yung algorithms po kasi nire-reward yung consistent value over one-time spikes. Virality often attracts the wrong crowd who don't stick around for your core business. Yan. So, ano po ba ang makukuha niyo today dito sa 20 minutes na ito? So, ito po yung promise ko po sa inyo. By the end of this session, malalaman niyo po itong tatlong bagay na to. So, una, check niyo po where to find your social media gold. Nasaan po ba yung mga data na yan? Where does this data live? So, number two, understand nyo ano pa ibig sabihin ng mga numbers na to. How do you read and check ano ba talaga yung mga nagmamatter doon sa mga data na yon for social media. And then number three, act. Ito na yung mga practical tactics na pwede nyo nang magamit. Now na. Today. Now na. Yan. So, does it sound good? Alright. So, sige. Let's go. So, una, check where your data lives. Saan ba nahahanap ang ginto? Ayan. So, nandito lang po yan sa mga analytics section ng mga platform ninyo. Hindi nyo na kailangan bumili ng mga expensive software kasi every platform na libre, meron po yung mga built-in na analytics. Especially for these three tools. Yan. So, una, yan, yung sa Meta, kung nasa nandun yung Facebook and Instagram, yung Insights tab, nandun po. Nandun po yung makikita natin po doon yung reach, tsaka engagement trends. Yung reach, ilan yung nakakakita ng inyong mga posts versus sino ba yung nag-i-interact doon sa mga posts. Yung mga nagla-like, nagko-comment, nag-share ng mga posts. Next, makikita nyo rin doon yung inyong audience. Sino ba yung audience? Male, female, ilang percentage ng male and female yung nandun? Ilang taon sila? Anong oras sila aktibo? Ano yung mga top performing posts? Syempre, pag nakita mo na doon, ito pala yung mga gusto nilang post. Ano yung ibig sabihin nun? Syempre, you'll post more of those content. Yung mga ayaw nila na post, maybe you need to change it. Yan. So sa TikTok naman, where to look, merong analytics section doon na makikita nyo yung video performance. Yan. So yung retention rate, very important po yan. Ibig po sabihin, tinatapos po ba nilang panoorin yung video ninyo or after 1-2 seconds, nagda-drop na sila or nag-scroll past the feed na. Makikita rin yung follower activity ninyo kung kailan online ang inyong mga fans, tsaka yung traffic source for you versus the personal profile. Tapos sa LinkedIn naman po, meron ding analytics doon. Makikita nyo kung sino yung mga bumibisita, yung job titles and industries. Doon sa content ninyo, ilan yung impressions, meaning ilang beses siyang nakikita. At saka ano yung rate nung pag-engage nila. Iba po yung reach sa impression na yung reach po, ito po yung sa number of accounts na nakakakita ng content. Yung impressions, kahit isang account lang yan, halimbawa, isang user ako, kung binuksan ko siya ng paulit-ulit, nagka-count yun as an impression. Yan. So makikita rin po natin doon yung followers natin, yung growth trends, ilang percent yung growth this week, bumagal ba yung growth, mas madami bang growth. Yan. So over time, makikita nyo po yung growth at malalaman nyo kung itong period na to, mas nag-grow, bakit kaya? Maybe because of these types of posts. So yun pa lang po, malaking insight na yan. Yan. So suggestion ko po, as a weekly habit po ninyo, every Monday morning, screenshot ninyo yung mga top 3 posts ninyo sa mga platforms ninyo and check, ano ba yung pinost ko? Ano ba yung topic? Nagustuhan ba ng audience? Kamusta yung aming metrics dito sa mga top 3 posts na to? Next po, sa ngayon po, mapapansin po natin to sa mga algorithms. Ito lang po yung sikreto sa ngayon na I don't know kung in the coming months effective pa rin siya, but this is just a hack na ang tinatawag ay the golden hour. Yan. So the golden hour that determines your reach. So ano po ibig sabihin nito? Actually, ano po siya 90 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. Yung first 90 minutes, after nyo mag-post, that is when the algorithm decides everything. So kung yung post ninyo gets engagement dun sa window na yon, like likes, comments, shares, sinasabi ng algorithm na, okay, good content ito. Let's show it to more people. Yan. But, what if there's crickets? Wala masyadong nag-interact. Yun, the algorithm buries it. Game over. Usually, that's what's happening doon sa mga organic posts. Yan. So, pagka-post ninyo, important na na mag-engage agad kayo doon sa mga comments. Very critical yung first 90 minutes. Yan. And also, you have to post kung kailan active ang inyong mga followers. Huwag kayo mag-post kung kailan lang kayo free. Post when your audience is about to be active. Yung peak hours ninyo, siguro around 1 to 2 hours or 2 to 3 hours para medyo mag-mature na yung post. Marami ng mga interactions by the time na makita ng majority of your audiences. Yan. So, post when active, tsaka reply fast, reply to early comments immediately. Mas nadodouble kasi yung interaction count and nagsisignal siya ng momentum sa algorithm pag mabilis yung reply. And also, you have to see the engagement. I-share nyo yung new post na stories immediately. Pwedeng may sticker para may interaction agad para mag-drive ng traffic back doon sa inyong feed. Yan. So, step 2, kailangan maintindihan natin what the numbers mean. Kasi merong real gold, meron ding fool's gold. Yan. So, paano natin malalaman kung tama ba yung ating approach? Yan. So, ano ba yung difference nung fool's gold na nasa left tsaka yung real gold na nasa right? So, yung nasa left, fool's gold looks like this. Mataas ang reach, maraming nakakakita, pero mababa ang engagement. So, ibig sabihin, dami nakakita, but no one cared. Or, puro likes lang, walang comments, walang save. Parang pag nagwi-window shopping, pag may nagwi-window shopping sa store mo, sumilip sila, pumasok sila, tumingin-tingin, tapos lumabas ulit. Walang tinanong, hindi sila bumili. So, anong gagawin mo? You can probably change your window display, di ba? Or maybe do something about your marketing. Yan. So, pag ganon, in your socials, okay, marami naman nag-view, but walang nag-engage. Probably, there's something wrong with the content na kailangan ninyo siyang gawing mas interesting or mas relevant para sa inyong mga target audience para mag-encourage na i-like man lang nila or mag-comment sila, mag-engage sila doon, or mas maganda, i-share nila or i-save nila. Yan. So ano pa ba yung mga fool's gold? Yung mga vanity metrics. So ito yung mga numbers na nag-inflate ng ego but don't impact sales. For example, dami-dami mong mga followers, pero for example, may 100,000 ka na followers pero wala namang nag-engage doon sa mga posts. Sino ba yung 100,000 na yun? They are not really your audience who are most likely to buy from you. Yan. So yung real gold, ito yung pag merong comments, ito yung mga merong high saves, high shares, and meaningful comments. People are actually engaging with your content. So ito yung sagot. This is what you want to actually look for in your data. Yung comments, kasi pag may quality interaction, mas naboboost niya yung algorithmic ranking. Mapapansin niyo pag binuksan niyo yung Facebook, the first post that you see, yon yung usually na dinidikta ng algorithm na engaging post. Yun yung maraming likes, maraming na nagko-comment, or it's something new na gustong ipakita sa feed ng marami. And yung saves, ito yung may highest intent signal. Ibig sabihin, pag sinave nila yung content mo, gusto nila siyang balikan. Yan. Shares, ito yung ultimate endorsement. Ibig sabihin, they're willing to put their name dun sa post ninyo. Yan. So, ito yung ibig sabihin nito, people are vouching for you. So, ano bang hierarchy ng metrics when it comes to social media? Kasi hindi lahat ng engagement ay equal. Algorithm values them differently. So, ang pinaka valuable ay yung shares, 10x value. Pwede na sabihin na may 10x value siya kasi ito yung may strongest distribution. Kasi you can also have access to the network of the people who shared your post. Yan, and more reach yan for your brand. Next is yung saves. 7x value. Ibig sabihin gusto nila tong balik-balikan. And then next, yung comments, siguro mga around 5x yung value. Ibig sabihin, nag-take sila ng time to respond. Nakitaan nila yung content ninyo ng relevance, ng importance. So they took their time to respond and they just didn't go past the feed. And lastly, yung likes. Maganda siya pero at least ito yung bare minimum. Yan. So kung meron kang post with 100 likes and another with 10 shares, yung may 10 shares, yun yung mas valuable. Yan. So I hope that makes sense. So pagdating naman sa benchmarks natin for engagement rate, ano ba yung good number? Ano ba yung dapat i-aim for natin? Well, at least in an agency, ang engagement rate na tinitignan namin should be between 3 to 5%. But of course, depende pa rin to sa industry. But generally, kung nasa around 3 to 5% ka, should be good. Yan. So, paano ba yun kinakalculate? Kunin niyo yung likes ninyo, yung comments ninyo, at saka yung shares, i-add nyo yan, i-divide nyo by your followers. Multiply by 100, yun yung percentage. Yan. So, if you have 1,000 followers at meron kang 40 na total engagements, that's 4%. So, you're good kung nasa 4%. But if it's less than 3%, kailangan natin mag-adjust. Ibig sabihin, hindi nagre-resonate yung ating content. Yan. So, yan yung kailangan natin tignan. At least every month, check natin ano ba mga content yung nagre-resonate, ano yung hindi nagre-resonate, what should we post more often, what should we ditch? What should we ditch? Ano yung mga kailangan palitan para mas mag-connect doon sa audience natin. Alright, step 3. Ito na yung fun part. Turning your insights, turning data into action. Yan, so ito na yung payoff time. Ano ba ang content mix blueprint muna? Yan, so we call this the 90-10 rule. Yan. So, yung sa mga pinopost nyo na content, 90% should be all about value. So, doon sa 90% na yon, hati-hatiin ninyo sa educational tips, mga behind-the-scenes stories, mga community posts. Tapos yung mga posts na nagbebenta, nagpo-promote ng mga produkto ninyo, can be just 10% yung promotional. Yan. So, 1 out of 10 posts can be buy this. Bakit? Kailangan nila muna ng value bago sila bumili. Yan. So, people follow you for help, not for ads. So, di ba pagka nasa store ka, tapos merong sales lady, tapos, ate, bilhin mo to. Ito okay sa'yo, di ba? You want to show away the salesperson. People do not want to be sold to. Gusto nila, sila na yung magbabrowse, and then they will approach you. Tapos, usually kasi, there are studies as well, na before people inquire sa page ninyo, it would take them around 6 times, na may makikita muna sila na 6 times na content from you. Probably nakita na nila yung unboxing video, mag-BTS, yung mga different posts ninyo about your products and services na not hard sell. Yan, bago sila mag-inquire. Yan, so value first before they buy. So 40% educational, 30% storytelling, 20% engagement posts, 10% sales. Yan. So 3 quick win tactics. Yan. Number 1 tactic, post before peak time. Pero syempre, yung peak time, makikita nyo yan sa yung time most of your audiences are online. Yan. So, pwede kayo mag-post 2 to 3 hours before your audience is most active. Yan. Kasi kailangan natin ng early engagement when people log on. So, if your audience is online, by 7 p.m., mag-post na kayo ng around 4 or 5 p.m. para handa na. Next, yung first comment strategy. Yan, you can comment on your own post within 60 seconds with extra value. Like for example, here's a summary, or this is the link to the post, or this is a call to action, or pwedeng meron kang engagement question. Next, create save-worthy content. Kasi mataas yung value ng saves eh. So, you have to stop just broadcasting, gawa ka ng reference material na pwede nilang balik-balikan. Yan, yung mga checklist, mga step-by-step guides, mga templates, mga cheat sheets. Yan ang gusto ng mga audience, kaya nila sinesave yung mga posts. Yeah. So next, what makes people share ba? Yan. So merong 4 things dito. So first, emotional stories, customer testimonials that hit the heart. Next, insightful na mga helpful tools, helpful resources, something that they can send to a friend. Mga surprising insights, gusto nila yan, yung mga, talaga ba? Totoo ba? Yan, mga data or facts that challenge common beliefs like today's session, di ba? Dami na natin natutunan. And then, relatable humor, tasteful, mga on-brand memes or situations that your customers experience daily. Kasi 10x ang algorithm boost when people share. Yan, the platforms prioritize you. Yan, isang bonus tactic lang, yung contrarian hook. Yan, post something like mga unpopular opinion or kagaya nito, your business doesn't need more followers to make sales. Yung mga tipong yung reaction nila, parang, wait, what? Tama ba? This is wrong. Tapos magko-comment sila and they'll look more. Post something that would make them more curious. Yan. So this will get you mga 2 to 3x mga comments, 2 to 3 times more comments, at saka yung mga tipong papatulan nila, lalo na yung mga iba na hindi masyadong nagbabasa, patulan nila. Yan. Yung headline lang nag-comment na sila, hindi pa pala nila binasa. So yun yung usually mas maraming mga engagement. So now, before we wrap up, iwanan ko lang kayo ng inyong 7-day action plan. So for day 1, I suggest screenshot nyo na yung top 10 posts ninyo at saka ano ba yung mga peak hours nung audiences ninyo in your platforms. And then, mag-start na kayo mag-draft ng 5 savable posts, mga checklist, tips, or guides. Day 3, mag-improve kayo ng 3 captions. Aralin yung mabuti. Strong ba yung hook? Kailangan ko ba maging contrarian? Malinaw ba yung CTA ko? Is this something na mag-engage sila? Next, schedule posts 2 to 3 hours before its peak. And days 5 to 7, mag-prep na kayo ng mga comments, reply fast, yan, and review ninyo palagi ang inyong engagement rate. Yan. So, key takeaways natin for this afternoon. Number 1, consistency beats virality. So, wag tayong mag-chase ng one-hit wonder. Kailangan natin ng steady, reliable value over occasional spikes. And to get reliable value, kailangan kilala natin ang ating audiences. Yan. So number 2, saves and shares are real gold. So doon tayo mag-focus. And then number 3, post before peak. And pin ninyo, catch yung golden hour by posting earlier and use the first comment strategy para mag-boost tayo ng reach. So data, not hula, para hindi na tayo magpa-publish and pray. The real gold is consistent data-driven content that your customers save, share, and talk about. So, maraming salamat sa inyo. Hope you found gold in these sessions. There's another session na golden din, so stand by for that. So, muli ako po si Amri Dizon ng Vital Strats, Introspect at Paiba. Maraming salamat.
Miss Amre, maraming salamat. My goodness, we are really living up to the name of our series here, that this is truly a master class. So much useful information. I already have how many pages of notes from our speakers so far, learning so much, and we can really apply it. I think everything that has been shared so far, napaka-applicable to each of our different businesses. And we'll be able to talk about that more later when we bring them back on screen. So, once again, yung mga curious dyan, we already have the experts here with us. So please, wag na kayong shy type, okay? Itabi mo na ang shy type na yan. Please, share your questions, share any specific thoughts you might have on how you might want to apply our learnings today, because the experts are coming back on screen in just a while and they'll be answering your questions. So again, nasa baba lang ang Q&A button. So please head on over down there, click that button and share your questions. This is the time. Okay. Now, to close our speaker sessions, we have someone na talagang expert sa digital tools. Yung mga systems at strategies na hindi lang nagpapalawak ng reach ng brands, kundi nagpapabalik din ng customers. We know how important it is to have customers who become loyal and keep coming back. She is a part of the Globe Business Solutions Consulting Group, kung saan tinutulungan niya ang mga businesses para ma-optimize ang kanilang digital communications at tools. Now, she has over 10 years of experience sa customer success, sales, at business development. Kaya sobrang holistic ng pagkaintindi niya ng buong customer journey. Bukod dito, super valuable ang kanyang expertise sa A2P messaging para sa mga SMEs. Para hindi lang simple transaction ang nangyayari, kundi tunay na engagement at connection sa customers. Let's all welcome Ms. Mara Manahan.
Hi, Globe afternoon, everyone. So my name is Mara. So for today, I'll be discussing the roles of connectivity, Globe, our ICT solutions in terms of gathering insights, being able to interpret those insights, and at the same time, the application of those insights using our tools, right? But before I get started, I wanted to share in terms of additional statistics. Let's take a look at the Philippine retail and digital landscape. So currently, for wholesale and retail, it is actually the largest sector or with the highest GDP contribution in the Philippines. So 49% of total PH businesses are from retail. So this is actually you guys. So kayo ito, 93% are micro businesses. So by 2027, the expected PH retail market value would be 286 billion. So it's actually growing year on year po. It is also mainly driven by the following. So that would be the increasing number of sari-sari stores and supermarkets, plus the explosive rise of e-commerce. So it's actually a mix of the traditional stores and at the same time yung application or yung ating adaptation for e-commerce. Of course, the digital payments are also driving the e-commerce sector. So of course, kasama dito yung aming affiliate or aming sister company, GCash, right? So given the positive outcome, gaano ba kalaki yung ating base for the consumer? So we have actually 97.5 million internet users in the Philippines. And at the same time, ang ating engagement or kumbaga yung usage nila for an average Filipino, that would be 8 hours and 52 minutes for daily internet use. Almost 4 hours naman for social media use. And at the same time, whenever we conduct calls and text messages that will be under cellular mobile connections, that's under 142 million. So given na given yung exposure natin to digital, of course, it could be quite noisy, saturated at the same time. How can we stand out? So for today, I'd like to share with you what are the industry trends and what is the sector, where is the sector challenge. All right, so sharing with you the growth areas in the MSME industry. So first is advanced personalization. So for customer experience will now become hyper-personalized and responsive. Ang ibig sabihin nito, gumagamit na yung mga companies right now ng mga tools in terms of really analyzing how what kind of customers that they should reach out to. So marami ng customers right now, even under MSMEs, are using yung mga Facebook analytics, Instagram analytics, etc. So to know about more of their customers. So even here in Globe as well, we do have solutions wherein we can help you really expand your businesses by identifying what kind of customers you should be reaching out to. So next naman is the convergence of physical and digital retail. So for this one, it is a must that they are both offline, online present. So meaning, for example, when we go to a particular, let's say, for businesses here in MSME, usually sumasali tayo ng bazaars, right? So when we join bazaars, we showcase our products, but at the same time, yung consumers, hindi naman sila minsan bumibili at the same day. So minsan, they ask for your Instagram account, Facebook account, your numbers in order to create future transactions or purchases with you. So I think it's very important to establish as well yung mga ating mga mini websites. Are we affiliated with the e-commerce platforms like Shopee, Lazada, etc. For the consumers to reach us. And at the same time, rewards na rin are used to be rewards na rin are used to get insights from the customers, and at the same time really reward them for the patronage, or let's say the repeat the repeat buy of your products and services. And then for experiential retail naman, so the experiential retail has shifted brands to reimagine their physical stores paired with technology. Ang example nito would be, for example, simple coffee shops offering internet to their user. I think that's a very good thing when it comes to having repeat customers. And at the same time, boost sales and enhances the customer experience. So, if you also noticed kapag pumapasok tayo ng SM, pag pumapasok tayo ng SM, kapag gusto natin mag-connect sa data, we are actually routed to a website, and then when we input our numbers, you are connected at the same time. We also see what are the offerings of that particular mall and restaurants. So those are the things that pwede natin maging growth in terms of the MSME. So I just wanted to focus as well on the personalization. So it's not just about making a sale, it's about creating a positive customer experience. So first things first, know what your customer matters. So you cannot personalize if you do not know who they are and what makes them tick. So at the same time, it could be a simple process of, let's say, pag may nag-order sa atin a particular item, we usually take down what they ordered, we list them down, we use our tools like, for example, Excel or Sheets. We take down the names, the number, the location, even for example, like short, maybe description about the customer. I think that's a good thing. That's something that you can apply. So at the same time, it's also very important it's really also great it's also great to create the right context within context. So more messages sent to your customers doesn't guarantee conversion. So for this one, it also has to be very intentful, or at the same time dapat yung content natin really matches the person that we are talking to. Kung kailangan natin gumamit ng ibang language, let's say we're targeting areas, or yung expansion natin is, let's say, nasa Visayas, Mindanao, we can use their languages in terms of communicating with them, and you can use tools as well for this one, like SMS tools to communicate our products and services and to alert them of what they can avail. So at the same time, it's also very important to identify what kind of communication yung gusto nyong gamitin for your customers. So, for example, may customers kasi na, let's say, on the nasa Gen X sila and up, di sila actually consumers ng Viber, or very low yung kanilang usage of Viber. So mas ma-tech sila. And at the same time, more on Facebook. Ayan. So at the same time, you cannot really use Viber business messaging for them. So to share with you, SMS pa rin talaga yung pinakamataas na platform for messaging. So regardless of any sector, SMS pa rin talaga ang pinaka-preferred ng brands and companies here in the Philippines. Alright, so I understand na there's also an acknowledgement in terms of growth, pero at the same time, alam kong marami din kayong problems or marami din kayong iniintinding iba. So, example would be yung mga disruptions sa supply and chain, yung mga inefficiencies caused by legacy systems, interruptions in telco services, converting trial into loyalty customers, talent upskilling and retention, etc. Everything that is manual could be externally cost or internally cost. those are challenges. So on top of that, how can we focus or shift yung ating attention to these growths that I've talked about. So this is where we actually step in. So how can Globe Business help address your challenges and need for growth? All right. So when we actually work with SMEs, we actually like to talk to them in terms of ano siya, hindi siya more on these are our services. Ito yung kailangan niyong bilhin sa amin. So it's actually not that. Ang approach namin would be, ma'am, ano po ba current yung pain points ngayon? Ano po ba current yung ginagamit na tools? Naka-manual po ba kayo? So we actually try to talk to you first. We actually like to know about paano ba kayo nag-ooperate? Gaano kalaki yung base ninyo? Anong klaseng customers meron kayo? Ano po bang plans nyo in the future, in the 2 to 3 years? Ano po ba yung inyong priorities? So yun po yung approach namin. So instead of really, oh, these are all of the solutions that we have. So it's really a much more personal approach. So rather than solution selling. So for this one, I actually categorized it into 3 pillars. So initially, we like to check kung in terms of yung supply chain ng company, para how do you do your orders, how do you track your data. So from there, we actually understand as well kung paano kayo nag-ooperate. And at the same time, we also try to check kung in terms of manpower, ilan ba kayo within the company. Right. So kapag nag-suggest ba kami ng particular offering with you, kaya ba siyang i-accommodate ng team ninyo? Are they equipped enough? Do they need training? Etc. So another one is we like to check how you also talk to your customers. So do you get their data? Do you submit, let's say, surveys pag natapos kayo ng transactions? So those are the things we like to check as well. In terms of expansion, we like to check as well gaano nakalaki yung volume base natin. And at the same time, yung data analytics comes with this one. So if you have nothing in place, we try to coach you as well parang kung ano yung important data that you need to save and what kind of tools that you need to use. So an example would be yung kanina minimension ni Miko would be Gemini. So si Gemini actually part siya ng Google Workspace. So si Google Workspace, that is something that you can use in your everyday life. So think of it as your digital office. So from calls, meetings, taking down notes, being able to track down all of the customer data via sheets, creating presentations, everything is there. Even yung na-mention ni Miko na Gemini, it's all there. So those are the things that we try to really educate our clients with. And then lastly, so given na meron tayong plans to expand, that's always the thing naman. We like to expand, we like to improve our company or organization by investing on all of these tools, right? So at the same time, papasok yung question na, safe ba siya? So parang what kind of protection do I have in my organization in terms of data privacy, threats, phishing, scam, etc. How do I protect myself? So usually, it actually goes hand in hand. So meron kaming clients na proactive, meaning habang nag-i-improve sila ng services within the company, they try to ask already parang, ito yung mga tools namin within the office, ito yung mga number of laptops, cellphones, etc. How can we have it secured? How can we prevent attacks? How can I safeguard my data? So something like that. Meron din kaming clients na ano siya, reactive. Reactive in a sense na kapag nagkaroon na sila ng problema, saka lang sila lalapit sa amin. So as much as possible, gusto namin na nasa stage tayo ng proactive, you're checking out things. Pero at the same time, we do have different programs naman to help you. So at the same time, it's all end-to-end eh. So down from awareness, retention, consideration, at the same time yung retention. So of course, kahit marami tayong let's say customers and consumers, pwede sila mawala agad-agad just because of simple problems, for example, yung mga attacks, etc. So, madaling ma-alarm yung mga tao on that. So, as you can see, things can be easily be viral. So, I think those things we can prevent if we are proactive. Okay. So I just wanted to share with you something simple that you can actually apply instantly in your daily life. So that will be the use of M360. It actually covers awareness. It covers retention. It covers insights as well by the use of SMS blasting. So I mentioned this particular product because it is actually the number one sought product of the SMEs kasi madali lang siyang i-apply eh. So you can be non-technical to use this one. So we actually talk to marketing people. Even with the absence of IT representatives, they can use this tool. So with the use of this tool, by simply getting the numbers, the names of their customers, they are able to launch different SMS campaigns. Ayan, they are also able to conduct two-factor authentications or yung OTPs natin. And at the same time, later on, nag-level up din sila. So from SMS, they proceed with Viber, and then next naman, email, etc. So, nag-grow yung mga customers namin with us. And then, of course, if they are using tools like this one, syempre, ang outcomes niyan ay, of course, higher impression rate, higher sales contribution, higher din yung conversion rate. And then at the same time, dito pumapasok yung mga repeat customers. So it's actually as simple as sending a birthday greeting to a customer. Or at the same time, actually you don't have to sell anything to send a text message. So it could be simply saying na, oh, it's gonna be Christmas this soon. Parang, ito for example, you like to promote your online store. So if you don't want the hassle po of going to malls, so here are our online stores, or you can order from us. Ayan, so online, they will deliver it to your doorstep. So something like that. Those are things that you can actually maximize. So at the same time, if meron din kayong mga events, I had customers who tell me na before using M360, isa-isa sa lang nag-send ng text message confirming invitations. So ayun, so for this particular segment in your daily life, pwede niyo siyang gawin in seconds versus na ginagawa niyo siya before in hours. So this particular product is just one of the many products that we have for productivity and application. So hopefully I'll be seeing of you guys soon in terms of exploring these different solutions. All right. So of course, you can have the latest solutions in your company or organization. But of course, hindi siya mag-work kung wala tayong connectivity. So before you purchase any applications, regardless for what department it is, it's very important na establish talaga yung connectivity natin within the office. So with the help of course, yung mga broadband internet natin, etc., managed Wi-Fi for the branches and offices. So we also have our postpaid subscriptions and load up naman for our employees. So you need to set this up in order for the other things to function. All right. So settle the foundation, have backups in order for operation to get going. All right. And then since this is the last leg of the masterclass, I just wanted to share with you why you need to partner with Globe, right? So first, we will be your digital solutions partner. So you can actually have sessions with us. You can reach out specifically yung team namin if we want to, let's have the discovery session. Kasi from the discovery session, doon talaga na-unearth yung mga problems natin, yung wish list natin, etc. And we usually map those with our clients. So the solutions are tailored fit according to your needs. We don't promise naman to carry everything. However, we promise naman to really give you solutions or let's say recommendations just in case we don't have those. So next naman is of course having a dedicated account manager. So given na ang dami niyong iniisip how kaya I onboard this particular solution, sino kakausapin ko sa billing, sino kakausapin ko sa after sales. So usually we have a dedicated account manager for each enterprise. So you can just talk to one person. So if you get multiple solutions with us, it will just be centered into, the concerns are centered into one person. So whether connectivity siya or yung ICT products namin. Okay. And then next naman is of course yung payment flexibility. So may clients kami na nakadirect sa credit card nila na personal. So I think yung iba that's a pain point for them. But for us, it will be routed of course to the correct department, which is of course the finance and accounting. And then at the same time, you'll get access to our events such as masterclass, the discovery sessions. Rest assured also na yes. For the last bit, I'd like to share with you that for every solution that you get from us, whether from cyber, cloud, or productivity applications, it's actually partnered with demos, trial sessions, and at the same time adoption. So we don't stop at selling you the product, but we do check up with you in terms of how are you adapting to the solution and if you are maximizing it to the fullest. All right. So I hope to see you in the next sessions. This will definitely be not the last. So hope to see you on those sessions. Thank you so much for the invite and good afternoon again.
Thank you so much, Miss Mara. Great way to wrap up our talks, not just for today, but for this run of the Breakthrough Masterclass series. It's always so comforting to know that, yes, it's excellent to have these tools at our disposal na ikaw mismo mag-explore ng mga tools na available, but syempre nakaka-comfort din knowing that you can have a partner that will basically hold your hand and walk you through it if you reach that part of your journey of your business na you're growing and the time has come to upskill and to get better tools because you are growing. And it's nice to know that Globe Business does that tailor fit na hindi siya, in other words, hindi siya one size fits all. Hindi siya one-time purchase, tas bahala ka na dyan. You know, it's been nice hearing throughout this series that they're so focused on making sure it's a tailor fit for you, for your business, and making sure that you know, you're not just going to buy things that you don't need, buy tools that you don't need, and everything will work hard for you to make sure that you have your ROI as your business continues to grow. Now, once again, kung meron kayong questions for Miss Mara, bawal pa rin ang shy type, guys. I know our series is coming to a close, but bawal pa rin ang shy type. Please send your questions because the experts are right here with us today. So let's make the most of it because malapit na tayo mag Q&A session in just a few moments. But for now, let's continue talking about something that's very important as well to Globe Business. And we keep talking about your digital journey, going digital, taking your business online, taking it to visibility across the country and across the world even. We've spoken about that before. And something that's very important is being able to determine where is your business in the digital journey. Gaano nga ba kahanda ang aking business to go digital, in other words. And so we don't have to guess, as was shared earlier, wala nang hula-hula, because this data is available to us. And that's why we're gonna circle back now to the idea of DigiTest. Now, in case you missed it earlier, some important facts that have to do with DigiTest, and that is that across the Asia-Pacific region, 79% of business leaders say that going digital is a priority. It has a direct impact on their revenue and growth, is what they say. In Southeast Asia naman, 81% of organizations say that the use of digital technology is a top strategic priority. And yet, despite so many businesses saying, yes, it's important to us to go digital, despite such a large majority saying that, get this, 90% of businesses are still facing challenges when it comes to going digital, or they still haven't fully unlocked all of the value of digital transformation. And this is very expected. This is common. This is due to different reasons like fragmented adoption, lack of clear direction, and difficulties in scaling initiatives. And that is why Globe brings Digitest into the picture. What is Digitest? You might have missed it earlier. We're going to be showing a QR code on the screen so that while I'm telling you about it, you can get started on the test. There we are. Now, what is Digitest? It's a very important tool. It is a digital maturity assessment tool designed to help organizations clearly understand their current digital capabilities and readiness. Again, gaano nga ba kahanda ang aking business to go digital? Where am I? Am I just starting? Am I already intermediate? As Ms. Amray shared earlier, maybe some of us are already at the intermediate level and you just need to know how to scale up. So, this is a digital maturity assessment tool. So, again, by finding out where you are, you're going to get that clarity. And with clarity comes courage, and with courage comes transformation. And that is the power of Digitest. It helps Filipino businesses thrive today, tomorrow, and beyond. So, this is your chance. This is your time to scan that QR code and find out your own digital readiness. Also, once you do answer that Digitest, you will be qualified for the raffle draw happening later. So you get an extra treat for finding out your business's digital readiness. O diba, may papremyo pa in exchange for doing this great step for your business. Kaya iscan nyo na ang QR code on the screen, answer the Digitest, and who knows, baka isa ka sa mga maswerteng mananalo sa raffle mamaya. Okay. We'll give you one more moment. Scan it if you can. Screenshot it if you're out of time. Ngayon naman, friends, it is time to bring back all of our speakers on screen for an open fireside chat. If you haven't had a chance yet to send in your questions, this is the time. We're going to bring them all back on screen now to discuss your questions. So, do that right now while you still have the time, because they're going to exchange ideas, respond to relatable questions, and share even more insights that can help you on your business journey. So, again, you've got that Q&A button down below. We encourage you to click it. Don't be shy, type in your questions and hit send. As for now, let's welcome back on screen our speakers, our experts, Miko, Amray, and Mara. Hi,
Hey guys, we're still
everyone.
here.
There we are. Wonderful. Can we do a quick check and make sure we can all see and hear each other just fine? Maybe we can do a thumbs up if we can all. Okay. You know how it is. We've always got to check with these when we're doing it remotely, we want to make sure that there are no technical hiccups, which, they happen. They're normal. All right, everyone. If it's all right with you, I'm going to get started on a couple of rounds of questions. Miko, can I start with you?
Nako game. Sige game.
Bawal ma-pressure because our viewers are counting on us. Okay, Miko, first question for you. This is from our Zoom Q&A chat. And this one says, Sir Miko, what prompts can I use in Gemini and other AI-powered tools to summarize and extract insights from qualitative data? I saw how you were able to take all that raw
Okay.
data and turn it into something so digestible. So what prompts do you recommend for something like that?
Sige, ganito siya, no? Guys, hindi siya parang you just type lang, okay, pull for me all of these things, no? Kasi you have to point it. And unfortunately, it won't do it that way. So let me give you two choices, no? Choice number one is that you copy and paste all of the verbatims, all the qualitative statements, then you paste it on Gemini, no? Or if it's in an Excel sheet, upload the Excel sheet, and then you practically tell Gemini to say na out of the 1,000 entries that are there that were in the comments, then you ask your questions. How many times what brands were mentioned? What are the key attributes that people look for? So the example I gave kanina was exactly what happened, no? that was also pulled. We tried this as well for Reddit. So hinalungkot namin lahat yon, we pasted it, and then we give the prompts, no? So kumbaga just ask away. But the premise is that you have to paste the raw data. Option number 2 is that you use another tool, no? There are tools that you can utilize for scraping. So kumbaga, you set the URL and then bubunutin niya directly from that platform. And then from there, the raw data that you get in Excel, CSV, or PDF format, yun ang i-upload mo. Then that's what you prompt the platform to do. That's the most direct way to do it. Kasi if you don't do it that way, you just give the URL. There could be issues where the platform will say, "Oh, I'm not able to collect that," or "I'm not able to pull it out." No. So again, that's a little bit of assisting that you have to do, but at least it removes the whole hassle process of having to go through it one by one. And I hope that I was able to answer that question.
Thanks, Miko. I guess just a quick follow-up to that. So once we do paste that raw data in, or we transfer the raw data, what would be, I guess, the most succinct way to say, take all this data and present it to me, in a simple fashion?
Okay. So maybe it's good to have 3 types of questions. One could be about overall information. So how many times were brands mentioned? What were the key concerns? What are people looking for? Di ba? Parang ganun. That's one. The second one could be about you can prompt to say, based on all the information shared, what type of content should I generate, diba? So that I can actually address the questions of people who are here, diba? So kumbaga, one is to just analyze the raw data in total. Second could be about, hey, what should I do in relation to that? The third one that you can actually take a look at would be like, what insights can you derive out of the customers and their questions, no? So kumbaga, what are the priorities, no? So kumbaga, that's a way to really understand, customers and how they're behaving. Kasi pwede mangyari na, oh, you know what, big volume pala is about price, no? Or it's about the quality or the photo or the presentation. Let me make kwento something concrete. The example that we had a few weeks back was about Dubai chocolate. So ginawa nila was that we extracted from a YouTube set of parang comments on YouTube. We uploaded all of that. Then we asked questions. What are people looking for? The first thing that people said was that we're looking about taste. Number 2 was about packaging. They cared about the packaging. So kumbaga, I would not have known that unless I asked the system to help process that for me, no? Then what happened after that was that we said, okay, what type of content should we produce based on everything that we found? Okay, really highlight the flavor, get people to get testimonials of people to talk about the flavor, present it in a very nice way, the packaging and all these things, no? So kumbaga, yun ang nangyari. We had to prompt it, but we were following these principles. Get an overview, what types of responses, and of course, what insights that you can derive. Ayun, but thank you for that follow-up question, Carla.
Thanks, Miko. And I think I guess a basic thing that might be often overlooked is you have to, before you prompt, you have to know what you'd like to know, really. It's very basic. I know it sounds quite basic, but you'd like to know, maybe which products are the most popular and so on.
Or just have a set of objectives, or be clear what you want to know, diba? So, of course, it'll only answer it in relation to the data set that you upload, right? So, ganun siya.
Yes, absolutely. Miko, thank you for that thorough example. Amre, I'm going to swing this next one to you. Now, I know you spoke already about the timings of your postings, making sure you post a couple of hours before your audience is online, and that the timing is important. But I think this might vary per platform, but do let us know. This question from the audience says, what is the ideal number of social media posts per day to maximize engagement? Should we post daily, a few times a week, or is there a recommended? You gave us so many golden formulas already, but they're asking if there is a golden number that they can refer to when it comes to frequency.
Great question. And I'm going to give you an answer you might not like. There's no golden number. I know gusto niya ng exact number, di ba? Pero here's the truth. Consistency beats frequency. So breakdown ko lang by platform. then I'll tell you what exactly matters. So for platform specific, ideally for Facebook and Instagram, it's around 3 to 5 posts per week. Yun yung sweet spot for most MSMEs. That's roughly mga once per day or every other day. More than that, pwede na magkaroon ng audience fatigue. Yung reach, actually, pwede siya mag-drop because yung algorithm thinks nagsaspam ka na. For TikTok naman, it's more frequent. Mga 1 to 3 posts per day works well in TikTok. Mas nire-reward kasi ng TikTok yung volume if your content quality stays high. So quality pa rin yung important. Pero yung catch, one viral video in TikTok beats mga 100 mediocre ones. And then sa LinkedIn naman, mga 2 to 3 posts per week, ideal siya. Yung LinkedIn audiences kasi they don't want daily content, they want valuable, thoughtful thought leadership posts. So more of quality talaga over quantity ang nagmamatter sa LinkedIn. Pero what the data actually shows is that posting more frequently doesn't guarantee better engagement. Ang sabi sa Sprout Social nga, posting too often can also decrease engagement by up to 30% kasi nakakaroon ng audience fatigue and sometimes your own posts compete with each other tas nagda-drop din yung quality. So given that, ano ba yung dapat natin gawin? Number 1, quality first. Number 2, find your rhythm. So, ano yung kaya mong pangatawanan? Yan. So, tingnan mo din yung data mo. When do you get the best engagement? Yung ibang mga business nagtatribe 3 times a week lang, others 5 times a week. Testing nga for 30 days, tapos mag-commit kayo dun sa kung ano yung nag-work sa audience ninyo. So, it's the number you can sustain with high quality. Try nyo ng 30 days to 90 days straight. Yeah. If that's 3 posts a week, perfect. Kung 5, great. Sit daily, amazing. Pero sigurado ka ba na mapapangatawanan mo yung everyday posts? Yan. So kung ano yung kaya mong i-commit ng 90 days na frequency ng consistent, yun yung sweet spot for you. Yeah, that's my recommendation.
Miss Mara, I have a question for you from our audience, and it's about M360. Now, this one says, Miss Mara, does M360 provide individual plans for each channel? SMS, Viber, email, or are they bundled together?
They're actually all bundled together, but for Viber, it's not really mandatory to onboard initially. It's an add-on service. So if you're only comfortable adding Viber, then you can add it to your current subscription. Yeah. So we're very flexible in terms of switching from one channel to another or having it work all together. So may I answer also the question regarding Gemini?
Go for
If
it,
I
yeah.
may? All right. So I would like to add that it's really you really have to be very specific when it comes to the prompts, and it is as mentioned by our Google partners. The actually prompting is an art. So you actually learn as you go. So hindi siya usually nakukuha in just like one prompt. Usually you submit additional prompts to get the answer that you want. And then just to add also, there is an available white paper online. So it's actually posted by Google wherein you can have a head start for prompting. So it's called Prompting 101. You can check it out. And then if you are a current customer, so if you're a current customer already, first for the person who asked this, if you're a current customer under Globe and at the same time you want to learn about Gemini, Notebook LM, how does it work? You can actually reach out to your account manager and then they can set you up with a meeting with us so that we can teach you. And then we can set you up with a refresher session.
Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Mara. I like the balance of digital tools with the humanity of it, right? Because I think it's still very much a balance that we have to achieve between you can't fully rely on just AI, for example. We discussed that here on Breakthrough before that, you have to look at AI as your assistant in a way. And so to have that human element, still very important, right? Miko, I'm going to bring this next question to you. This is, again, from our audience on Zoom. And this one says, are all pieces of content gathered from the internet, whether through search engine platforms or Meta and Instagram, are they all considered public domain? And does this mean we are free from any data privacy or copyright liabilities when we use them, presumably in scraping or insights gathering?
Yeah. I think it's a combined question. Let me just break it down ng konti, no? So, I think things on the internet are not necessarily public domain. Let me qualify that, ha. Some information kasi or photos or images may have its proper owners. So I would always say that always seek for consent or permission. You know, just because it's out there doesn't mean that it's available for public use. I think there are some content out there that parang unless it's explicitly indicated, no? So if your purpose is to repurpose it, may consent tsaka permission dapat yan, no? So always make sure to check that. But I think when you the other aspect naman is that if you're going to use internal data as an example, you have to make sure that you're data privacy compliant. Are you allowed to process it in that manner, no? So when I share na you can take a look at customer data, transactions, and all these things, no? You have to make sure that in your DPA or data privacy agreement that you put out, no, in all of your digital assets, websites, and all these things, you have to explain that this is how you intend to process, no, the information, or whether it's to be shared with partners or not. So you have to keep these things in check. Now, on the opposite side, when we talk about analyzing, processing, again, this is all publicly there, no? It's a comment that people post, or it's information that is anonymized through a username, no? But again, it's always best to take a look at what you're allowed and not allowed to do through the platforms. In the case of search and yung parang the platforms, no? Like kunyari, Google search results on Meta, again, these are already anonymized or they're already processed, no? So kumbaga, you're not infringing on any type of information. If you use data analytics tools that come from market research firms, again, this is already, you're having a contract together with a provider, no? So kumbaga, these things you can do. So yun lang, just take it with a grain of salt. Kami, when we pull it out from the internet and we analyze it, right? We always have to put at the bottom that where is it taken from, or who has the rights for these images or whatnots, no? We cannot just take an image and say, oh, nasa internet yan, and then I'm just reposting it. Not at all. You really have to put credit to where it's due, especially for content. All right. So yeah.
I'm sure for our panel here this afternoon, medyo allergic tayong lahat sa CTTO. Credit to the owner. So let's, as Miko says, everyone, let's make sure to stay on the safe side when it comes to getting content. And really, just when in doubt, ask for permission. Wouldn't hurt, right? Now, everyone, we're almost out of time, but I've got one more question for the three of you. Amri, if it's all right, I'll start with you. And this final question for the three of you is, what are your final words for small businesses who think that making content or digital marketing in general is too hard or too tedious?
Okay.
Nakaka-intimidate naman talaga. I mean, for people who just want to do their business, just want to sell their product or service. Syempre, hindi na, maybe for some people, hindi nila na-expect na, ay, kailangan ko na rin pala maging content creator. Di ba? So, I guess...
Let me answer. Don't be discouraged, guys. I've met people who are in their 50s and 60s that, you know, they were intimidated, but they tried it, and then now they're experts, you know. As in, sana yan, you know. The analogy I will tell you is that imagine your favorite mall. Pag tinanong ko sa'yo kung alam mo ba kung nasan yung Globe Store doon, at, di ba, alam mo saan? Oh, nasa third floor siya kasi parati mo siyang pinupuntahan. So, I think the more familiar you are with digital marketing, the more you expose yourself, the confidence increases, the familiarity, and I've had so many testimonials and stories of people who were able to overcome that. And like I said, I was a graphic designer, diba? So it's not even my industry, but because of tiyaga, because of people around you, the experts, partners like Globe, diba, that can really help expand your knowledge and your way to pick it up much faster. So that's my encouraging words to everyone on this, you know.
Thanks so much, Miko. And I think another good thing to add to that is don't be afraid for your first few pieces of content to completely bomb, right? 10 views, 20 views, and that's okay. At least you started, right? You started the process. Amray, anything to add to this one?
I was stopped kanina kasi I have so much to share and it's hard to condense it in a few
I'm
in a few
sure.
words. But I'd like to share a story lang to inspire all our small businesses. Last week, our organization, Philippine AI Business Association, conducted an AI training for content creation for 170 small businesses. So that already includes mga sari-sari store, mga fishbowl vendors, as in mga micro, nano. We taught them how to use AI to generate content, to gather customer insights. So they have zero knowledge at the beginning, but in the end, they were able to create their campaigns for their Christmas promo. Meron pa silang mechanics, operations guide, and they have a jingle and generated an image. So what's the takeaway here? We have all the tools available. We have AI. We have a lot of services. We have organizations willing to help out, such as Globe Business, teaching us a lot of capabilities. So it's just up to us kung paano natin i-utilize yung mga tools na yun. But it's not just about using the tools. It's really about being more authentic and having more personalization. Kasi the more na marami nang gumagamit ng AI, marami tayong makikita na AI slop at magiging magkakapareho na yung mga content. So you will really stand out if you really know and understand your audience, and based on your understanding sa audience ninyo, doon nyo ipapackage yung mga messages ninyo, and you amplify that with the support of all the tools and services available to you. So that's my message to the SMEs.
Thanks, Amray. And I think just to connect that, I think as long as you're being authentic in your storytelling, you might even surprise yourself, no? Na ang ganda pala ng nilabas kong content because I'm being true to myself. I'm being true to my brand. And people will see that. I think people are maybe not consciously, but they will sense when your business is being true to its spirit, right? So, Mara, could you bring this home for us? Same question. What would you have to say to small businesses that are understandably maybe intimidated or find it too hard, too tedious to start making content?
All right, maybe one problem at a time. So I know we're all clouded with information na parang anong gagawin ko sa particular areas na nakalista lahat. So I think one thing that could help easen yung siguro yung stress is one thing at a time. So you just have, for example, to list, for example, on my end, with the services that we have, list of customers, in terms of having listed customers, can I segregate the personalities of these customers? Can I further segregate in terms of what other items that I need to know about them? And then later on, once you have started to take off like the one problem at a time, I think it's good to really to accomplish the different items that you have. So yeah, just one thing at a time. At the same time, you really also need to check the current tools that you have. So if you're currently using, let's say, AI, so what are the things that could be accomplished under AI? Like for example, creating content. If I'm just working alone, let's say I'm a one-man team, ang dami ko na iniisip, maybe I could lean on, let's say, AI. How could I improve my content, my captions? Yan. So, yan.
Thanks, Mara. And I think that's a good way to bring it home, that start small, start simple, and it's easy to be overwhelmed with all the solutions available to us, but you don't have to do it all on day one, right? So Mara, thank you. And to all of our speakers, Miko, Amray, Mara, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. We're unfortunately out of time, but I'm sure our viewers here can reach out to you on your socials or on your websites to further, learn more from you guys. But thank you for sharing your wisdom with us and your real life experiences and how we can apply all of our lessons today. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right, of course. Maraming salamat again to all of our speakers, your time, your wisdom, your experiences that you shared with us today. And of course, salamat din sa inyong lahat for your active participation and your thoughtful questions. We got some great additional conversations going because of your thoughts that you shared. And we hope that these conversations give you some fresh ideas and the confidence to take the next steps in your own business journey. All right, my friends, that is it. We have reached and finished the 6th and final episode of the Breakthrough Masterclass series, Small Biz Edition. This has been a 6-part series designed to give you the insights and tools to help your small business survive, thrive, and of course, break through. We hope you're leaving with fresh ideas and of course, the confidence to take your business to the next level. Sana magamit nyo lahat ang natutunan nyo from this webinar series. And we are excited to see you reach your own breakthrough in the near future. Maraming salamat muli for spending this afternoon with us. This has been Carla Barreto, your host for Globe Business Breakthrough Masterclass Series, Small Biz Edition. We know we will see you around very soon, but until then, keep on believing in your business, keep on nurturing your customers and your employees, and keep on building that future that you dream of. Because every small step that you take is a step closer to your breakthrough. Have a wonderful day ahead, everyone, and we'll see you soon.